I'm not going to take you through all the guitars that I have because it would be really exhausting for me and super boring for you. But they kind of start over here with baritone guitars, banjos, basses, a couple Strats, Telecasters, various guitars, mounted high, mounted low, and I'm able to just grab them off the wall when I want them, and it's a blast. But let me just start with this guitar is a 1976 Martin Herringbone D28. And I played this on more than any guitar I think I own as far as recordings go. It's just magnificent. And the funny story about this was I went in and played on a version of for Christina Aguilera, her first record, Genie in a Bottle. Their second single was What a Girl Wants. And the producer, he called me in, and we just played, built up a version of the song. There were bass players and drummers, and I put acoustic guitar and a bunch of electric guitars, and never heard about it. 6 months later, he calls me and said, "You know that song you played on, for that girl, Christina? She's turned out to be a pretty big deal." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I haven't heard of her yet." Well, we've heard of her now. But the funny thing is, they went through multiple incarnations of the song, multiple bass players, drummers, arrangements, many more guitar players. But this guitar made it through all the cut of all those variations of the song. What a girl wants, something like that, Anyway, that's this guitar. It made the cut. It survived. This is great. This is definitely my favorite sounding electric guitar that I own. And it's not an expensive guitar. And it's not expensive because it was a gift. It was free. The composer, Snuffy Walden, big timer, extremely successful composer and amazing guitar player. He gave me this guitar. And I think what he did was, I think he went on the internet and bought about, as many as he could find at that period of time. He probably got 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, probably, if I know him. And he kept a couple good ones for himself, and then he was so kind enough to give me this guitar, and it turns out to be something that I just could not live without. So thank you, Snuffy. It's a Taisco. It's made in Japan in the 60s. A Taisco Audition is the model. Picture me, 16 years old, a box boy at a market, saving every nickel and dime. I walk in a music store, and I wanted a Les Paul so bad, and there was this Gold Tops up on the highest rack. And all I could see was Dickie Betts, Allman Brothers, Pete Townsend. And so I saved $50 a week, took it down, put it on layaway. And I now am the proud owner of 40 plus years later of this Gold Top. And I played the hell out of this guitar. You see all that right there, all that wear and tear? That's me, baby. That's all me. But I really have played this a lot, and I love it. It totally is me. We can get into this next time, the pink guitar. But, oh gosh, where am I going next? This is a 1968 Fender 12. It's an electric 12-string. See all these things? There's 12 of them. And the cool thing about this guitar, for me, as far as nostalgia, is this is what Jimmy Page, not this guitar, but Jimmy Page played a Fender 12-string on all the great recordings, like The Song Remains the Same and Stairway to Heaven. Everyone pictures this big double neck, and he's throwing his hair back with a giant guitar on, but actually in the studio, he played a Fender 12-string and all that stuff. That stuff, Fender 12-string. Last but not least, the 1973 Telecaster. Oh, this is such a great guitar. I purchased this, 5, 6 years ago from a gentleman by the name of Val McCallum. He plays with Jackson Browne. He's played with many artists. He's brilliant. And he also has his own band called Jack Shit. And they play a lot around LA, and they go on the road as well. But he's a brilliant guitar player and a sweet dude. But one day on Facebook, he said he was selling this, and so I hit him up, and this is a really cool guitar. When I pick this up, I sort of think of a certain era of Keith Richards. And that's what we do.